The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. It is the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on this TIP VIP Friday. Got my dude Augustine Pimentel hanging out with us as we do most Fridays. There was one Thursday there, but most Fridays we've got our guy Augustine hanging out with us. He's at the office today, so we have to be quiet so that way we're not disturbing the other people that are actually doing their job. As you've got someone just hanging out in the background over there.
She's getting coffee for her.
Wow. She's
getting. Say hi, Gabby.
Hi, Gabby. Gabby.
She's actually working on putting the camera on her. Am I a nice director?
You are. You're a fantastic director. Showing us.
She's laughing right now at me, by the way.
I don't blame her. A lot of people laugh at you.
Yeah, that's true, but I look pretty.
You're pretty to laugh at.
Yes, pretty laughable. Wait, that didn't come out right. Anyway.
Remember, Augustine, we are brought to everybody by one of our favorite products, crushed peanuts. I've got them right here, hanging out with me as I always do. 9 grams of protein.
I got news on them, Tip.
Ooh.
New flavors coming out soon.
Oh, do we know what the flavors are? Can we announce the flavors, or do we have to wait?
Matcha. You know how women love matcha? Yes. It's like, and I like matcha, but I tasted it already. I'm going to bring you some because I got some in my dirty little hands.
Oh, my goodness. And his dirty little... I like that on this TIP VIP Friday. We're joined by Bo Crouch, who was on the show a couple of weeks ago. He got introduced to the tip in an odd way. In a very
odd way. Bo. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Is there not an odd way to be introduced to the tip?
The more you say it, the more I can say there's every way is an odd way to be. Even the way that I brought you on had to be an odd way to be introduced to somebody.
I'm still thinking, Tipton should have a button that says "Sorry, Roku" all the time. Just a button that says "Sorry, Roku," especially with my really good joke that Tipton didn't want to say yesterday.
Well, the thing is we're going to be changing some stuff with National Streaming Sports. We're going to be hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I feel comfortable announcing this now. In the next couple of weeks, we'll be adding on Apple TV and Google Plus as people that will be airing some of the shows that we're going to be doing with the National Streaming Sports crew. Bo, a part of National Streaming Sports, has Coast to Coast, all the cool stuff that he's been doing with Seattle and everything up there as well. I just want to ask you this real quick, Bo. Like, there's not a lot to talk about in the world of sports. So, how about them Yankees getting no hit through 6 and then coming back and winning that game?
Oh man, it was awesome, right? As a Mariners fan, but at the same time, it's not like it's something we're not used to seeing.
Yeah.
So there is that element. I found it interesting that that Cal came out after the game saying their closer was actually kind of tipping his own pitches. And so, yeah, like if somebody's tipping their pitches, you have to take advantage of that. Like, I'm not mad at it. That's part of baseball. So like, if you're showing what it is you have, you deserve to get shelled.
We spoke about this the other day. Someone had brought up talking about the Houston Astros. I think it was Oral Hershiser on the broadcast had mentioned, oh, this happened with the Astros. That was 8 years ago. Feels crazy that it was 8 years ago.
Yep.
But how do we feel about that? Because to me, like, there's always a certain level of cheating going on in baseball. I don't know if banging on trash can lids is enough to make me be like, you know what, this game is so bad now.
So I guess here's the difference there. Like, if you have a guy that's standing on second and he's seeing something the pitcher's doing, and he's looking at before the comms came in, looking at the pitcher's, or I mean the catcher's signals, right? That's part of baseball. You're not using technology or something outside of baseball to relay that, right? That's a strategy thing. If you're using technology, or you're using, I wouldn't call a trash can technology, obviously, but if you're using some way to signal outside of the game, then that's cheating. And why it gets brought up is in sports, they don't take rings away. So if you win your ring and you were cheating, bummer. We'll sanction you, we'll fine you, but all of that will happen after the fact. Nobody gets their rings taken away. And that's why all these years later, you still hear about the Patriots and Deflategate, right? I mean, what's that been, a decade now? So, I mean, at the end of the year, or at the end of the day, it just, if you get caught cheating, it'll get brought up forever. And it's because you get to keep the hardware.
But I mean, isn't there cheating in every aspect? Like, every championship team, you can talk about cheating. Like last year with the Dodgers,
Yeah,
you can spend $1 billion in free agency that every other team can't do. That's a form of cheating.
A tip: if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
I know.
That's exactly right.
I mean,
you have to play in the gray areas of the sport. When you're overtly cheating, like banging on a trash can or changing the dynamic of the football or whatever, like those types of things, that gets looked down on, right? And
why are you going after my Brady? I'm just wondering.
It's just an easy example because everybody knows the reference.
Exactly. No, but cheating in sports is age old. It's just the only reason. And this is going to sound completely out of line to some people, maybe in line to some others, but it's only cheating if you get caught.
Well, and that's why I say you got to paint in the gray, right? Because there's plenty of things that teams have done that then after the fact, the league is like, yeah, no more of that. But in the moment, there wasn't a rule that explicitly said you couldn't do it. So that means you can't, right? Until they tell you can't.
That's the thing to me, though, is like, if we're going to say that cheating is okay, that like we all accept not overt cheating, then shouldn't we be okay with like any level of cheating? Like, if we're going to accept, okay, as long as you're painting in the gray area, we're fine with cheating, but don't show it to me. I'd rather you show me what's going on rather than get blindsided by something.
Like if it's in the gray, people don't get mad about it, right? Like if it's in that gray area, they're like, I see what they did there, right? But when it's outside of the field of play, obviously you shouldn't be doing it, like recording practices or pumping noise into the building to make it, extra crowd noise to gain an advantage outside of the confines of the game. That's where people start losing their minds, right? If you're
people lose their minds sometimes over nothing, though.
Well, I rule them out, though, right? Because they're also the ones that want to like burn their city down if their team wins or loses. Like they're destructive people in general.
The Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagle fans.
No, if the Dallas Cowboys win a Super Bowl, I'm burning everything down. Like, why might I find a nuclear bomb to explode somewhere? Like, we're celebrating the rig wave, baby.
I mean,
it's 110 degrees here. It's 110 degrees here. I don't think you have to burn anything here, Tim.
It's already burning. You're right.
It's already burning anyway.
Realistically, we have better odds of a nuclear bomb than Dallas winning a Super Bowl. So that makes sense.
Jesus Christ. I set myself up for it. I'm wearing the hat. I didn't even want to talk about them today. I again, subliminal messages, sending out the Dallas Cowboys vibes to everybody out there. Okay, so like, again, I'm okay with what the Astros did. Like, even though I'm a Yankees fan, like, I'm okay with what the Astros did. Like, you're right. Major League Baseball is not going to take anything away. It's not a huge deal. None of the players got punished. It was mainly the general manager and the manager that got punished for it. And they weren't even really punished in that aspect, right? Because Alex Cora went to go on and be the manager of the Red Sox. And I believe they won a World Series after that, didn't they? Like, didn't Boston win a World Series shortly after in 2019? But either way, they still go on. They still go on and have themselves a monicum of success, right? So there's no punishment that comes out here. How do you guys feel about roids then? Because like, I'm all about roids. I want roids in sports.
So, thing that's funny about that is we're on the edge of another baseball strike.
Yep.
And what saved baseball last time? Roids. Right? Like, pump them up. Mark McGwire had tree trunks for arms. Right? Like, when you watched him with the Athletics, he looked like a normal dude, right? Him and Canseco, Bash brothers, right? And they looked like normal humans. And then all of a sudden, over the course of a winter, his arms went from like, normal dude to pow. And you're just like, I feel like maybe that wasn't all the gym.
It could be. It could be. But, the thing is, here's my question. Should the league sanction roid recovery? A lot of people think that you're going to put steroids and you buff up like crazy. No, what roids does is give you faster recovery. Hence, you can go to the gym a little bit faster and all that. It's not like should the leagues, I'm putting this out there to NFL, NHL, and all those, do a little bit of roids for the athletes, because if you do it in a controlled sort of way, it's going to help people not abuse it sometimes. Because we all remember what was that linebackers that came out from Washington that was, everybody clearly saw that he was doing roids. He got to the league and all of a sudden he was a sucky linebacker.
Oh, Bosworth.
Brian Bosworth. Yeah. Brian Bosworth, Should the league, is it better for the leagues, especially professional sports, to sanction it in order to get more production out of the players, better recovery, better games, more people watching?
See, I'll expand on that. How about we just take it a step further, have its own league of the enhanced games, and let them become American Gladiators, where they are just jacked.
I would watch that. I think all of us would watch that.
I think we all watched American Gladiators too. Yeah. It was like, look at that big monster against that scrawny kid,
Right?
You just give them like the same team names. It's kind of like what they do in Europe with soccer, right? Like they just keep the same club team name. So you have the roided out Cowboys versus the roided out Seahawks this week, and it'll be a fun time.
They'd be stepping up to the plate, the bat looking like a toothpick. You're just like, yeah, let's do this. Let's see if we can hit it 630 feet.
But like I feel like they already allow for some recovery to be with steroids, right? Like if they had the stem cells and stuff like that. Like I was watching that Netflix series Quarterbacks, and you got Kirk Cousins going to Antigua and getting injected with stem cells and stuff like that to help with his Achilles tear injury. Like I'm fine with that. I was fine with even the Mitchell report whenever you had Andy Pettit. Maybe it's because I'm a Yankee, like a Yankees fan, right? Like when Andy Pettit was like, "Oh no, I was doing it to try to come back because I throw a lot of curveballs. There's a lot of damage in my elbow. I want to feel good as I get older, right?" Like I'm fine with them doing that. Even Alex Rodriguez, if he was on another team and he was like, "Look, I'm doing these roids because I tore my hamstring. I feel like shit. I want to come back and actually play the game." I'm fine with that stuff, man. But
No, but are you fine? I mean, because baseball, it's a contact sport per se,
you make
but
contact with a
With the
baseball.
bat.
I mean, but I mean the other sports, because baseball, before letting roids, what do you think about letting, this and baseball purists are gonna have, they're gonna go, oh no, give them aluminum bats. That's what I want to see.
Well, to keep it for the purist a little bit, right? At least let them use a bat they've seen before. Let them cork the bats.
I'm good with that. And Bo, I feel like Bo's kind of a purist when it comes to some of these sports, right? Like,
Oh, for sure.
whenever we've done like the National Professional Sports Show together, like I'll sit there and talk with like I'm all about opening up and expanding and doing all this stuff. Like the robot umpires, I'm here for robot umpires, right? Like let's get the damn call right. I feel like it would be better if they did it at first base, right? Like if there was a way that you can have like a chip in the glove that would be able to feel, whenever the ball is there versus whenever the batter steps on the base, and you can get that call right.
That'd
Like
be cool.
because like there has to be some sort of technology out there that we can use other than replay, because sometimes these replays take way too damn long, right?
Well, and sometimes they still get it wrong.
Yeah,
Somehow.
we've seen that, especially with the strike zone.
Yeah. Exactly. So no, I'm with you. Like something like I would actually prefer that over the bigger base. Like we didn't need a 2-inch bigger base. Like that wasn't necessary.
I need Fabrizio Palazzo. That's who I need in baseball.
Who the hell is that?
You don't remember The Naked Gun Part 2?
I've never seen that movie.
Man, I did, but it was like
Hey,
20 plus years ago. No. I'm with you.
Again, even though Bo's new on the show today, I'm the youngest person on this show.
by like 150 years.
I should never be the youngest person anywhere.
But you're the mature one.
Oh, God, no. We know better than that. I got a segment called Just the Tip.
Right.
But what do you think, Bo? And this is a question for both of you about some of these umpires taking center stage. Should they be taking center stage like they are?
No, that makes me mad every time.
Before you answer that, I have to, like, Augustine's leaving out a major point here. He hates referees, umpires, basketball referees, soccer referees, any referee that gets in front of a camera. Augustine hates them with the passion of a million suns. So for me, it's like sometimes I don't feel like they take center stage if there's a pass interference penalty and you've got this buff ass referee out there who's got to make the call.
Ed
He's
Hockey
going
Lee.
to get some love.
Ed Hockey Lee at like 70 could probably still have beat up most of the league.
Oh yeah. Ed Hockey Lee from UTEP.
Dude was hilarious. Every time he was like a first down, he was flexing too. He's like, boom. You're like, okay, dude, we get it.
And wasn't he the one that was speaking some other language when in some other country? I don't remember where, but I think it was Ed Hockley in France or something.
It was in Germany.
I was going to say it was German. Yeah.
He gave the first down signal in German, which was awesome.
That was very cool. That was very cool.
But Augustine hates that. It's a referee who took center stage. How dare you? How dare you take center stage while the Jaguars are playing the Titans in Germany?
The thing with like Ed for sure, is he would take it, but not in a negative way. Like a lot of these guys are taking it because they're making bad calls, stuff like that. When you watch Ed Hockey League games, he actually really didn't miss a lot, right? Like he would take center stage because the TV crews would zoom in on him and be like, look at this dude's arms. Like how many broadcasts did they talk about just him being jacked? But all of them. Every game he ever reffed, they're just like, this dude is huge. And he's 65, 70, and he's running with these players down the field. So, I mean, him getting some center stage didn't have to do with where a lot of these guys are. Like a great example of a guy that is annoying is, I forget his name, NBA. Every Chris Paul game, he calls the game so lopsided against any team Chris Paul is on. I don't know why I'm mind blanking this guy's name, but I mean, I feel like maybe, just maybe, don't schedule him to ref those games because it's been a negative. What's that?
Scott Foster.
Yes, there we go. So yeah, I mean, and so those are the things you don't want to see, or the fact that everybody knows who Angel Hernandez is. Yeah, it's because he makes bad calls all the time, somehow was protected by the union. And so it finally took them until last year before, where they're like, look, you got to go, dude. So.
Well, there were umpires like, Jim Joyce, that were just consistent. And, I think he went to 2 World Series, but that level is completely different. And they did the right calls. They spoke with the players, but it was all done in the background, You
also have to remember that Jim Joyce is the one that screwed Andres Galarraga out of a perfect game.
One mistake.
A perfect game.
A big one. but no, so, and you're not wrong. Like I do have some purist in there, right? But at the same time, I do like to see the game evolve, which is why, when we were talking the other day, I don't necessarily want to see the full-on robo-umps because it gets rid of some of the strategy of the game, like framing pitches, stuff like that. But at the same time, I do like the challenge of, being able to challenge the play, because some of these are like really bad calls. Like if it's painting the edge and they call it, but it's been that way for everybody all day, it's just an expanded area. I'm not mad at that, right? It's consistent, kind of like if you have a ref in football, they're calling it ticky-tack this day, but they're not the next day. They're letting them play. As a player, as long as it's consistent all day, you adapt to it. It's not a big deal.
Yep.
When you're missing a pitch that's 5 inches outside, okay, yeah, now it's a problem. So it's that's where those challenges come in, stuff like that. So I do like that we're going to see the challenge come back for the All-Star game. They did it preseason. They're talking about potentially having it for the postseason, but because of how successful it was in preseason, I would bet that will be a function of baseball next year and just moving forward. So I do like those rules changes.
Yeah. On Jim Joyce, though, and his one big mistake.
One.
Well, yeah, it was a big mistake, but he did something I haven't seen refs do before. He owned it. He said, I screwed up. He came out and said, and I've never seen umpires, refs do that before. And that's why I remember his name, because I said, he blew that call. But next day he came out, yep, that's on me. I think he even went with the pitcher and said, that's on me, brother. I'm sorry. So
yeah, I'm sure that made Andres Galarraga feel fantastic, right? Like, oh yeah, you screw me out of a perfect game. I'll never be able to be in the history books. I remember. So
that's not true. He is definitely in the history books.
I was in the military at the time. I came back to El Paso on leave for my nephew's graduation, and I'm watching that game, and I think to myself, wow, like this Andres Galarraga dude, he's going to be in Major League Baseball. Like if you got that close to a perfect game, you've got to be really good, right? A year and a half later, I'm in Oklahoma City watching a AAA baseball game, and Andres Galarraga was there not even as a rehab starter, as like the actual starter. Gave up 11 runs in the first inning and never sniffed the major leagues again. His one moment was that perfect game that was imperfect, and he got screwed out of it by an umpire. And that's great. The umpire can say, look, guys, my bad. I'm sorry. But in the history books, you took a piece of history away from somebody. It would have been like the 23rd perfect game of all time. And we're talking about a game that's been played since 1870, right? Like, it's that's a major mistake. That's not a small little thing to be like, okay, yeah, he apologized. He said, my bad. We should be fine with it.
Well, I mean, to take that even further, the first Super Bowl that the Seahawks were in, they played the Steelers. It was basically played in Pittsburgh, and the referee crew was extraordinarily biased, to which Holmgren came out and called them out, right? He's just like, you know what, damn the fines. I'm calling this out. He's like, we were playing them and the refs. And then that crew also came out and was like, oh, yeah, you know, we messed up and whatever. Didn't give us our first Super Bowl because they apologized, right? Like, we had to wait years for another shot at that. So yeah, I mean, that's where the robot element starts to come in, because you're just like, okay, you guys are messing up major components of big moments, right? And, you know, if it wasn't for like a guy like Hernandez, we probably wouldn't even be talking about it. He was just so consistently bad that you're like, man, we probably need something else.
I will call it inconsistently bad, because just his calls were all over, you know,
No, I don't think it was inconsistent. It was
every game.
He was bad.
No, what I mean is his whole umpiring is so inconsistent.
Yes.
It's so, you know, he deserves just a tip.
I will say that his confidence was second to none, though, because he would double down on a bad call like nothing else. He's like, no, that is in. It's like, dude, like, even on the Jumbotron in the stadium, we could see that it wasn't in.
It was inside the stadium. That's
see, there we go.
It was within his 7.5-inch margin of error. But it reminded me, like
some people think 7.5 is a good error.
I was about to say, you think 2.5 inches is a good error. But it reminded me of the call that happened. I want to say it was in June. It was Lance Diaz. And it was like a fastball. It wasn't even a slider or a breaking ball, but it was a fastball that was like 6.5 inches off the plate. And he was like, yeah, that's a strikeout. And everyone was like, dude, there's no way. They challenged it. And even with the challenge was like, yeah, no, that's still a strike. And it was like, well, 6.5 inches off the plate. How the hell are we calling this a strike? Like, so to me, if we're gonna have the robo umps and stuff like that, like I'm fine if we do the challenge system. But if we're gonna do it, we got to get it right. Kind of like what a couple of years ago with the Saints and the Rams in the playoffs, and that's a blatant pass interference. Like, you get tackled as the ball comes your way.
Yeah.
The challenge comes in and it's like, no, there was no pass interference. It was fine. Everything was good. We're good to go with this and that. Like, if you're gonna do these things, you've got to get it right. That's why I'm fine with the NFL having the digital markers now, right? Like actually having AI figure out this is where the ball needs to go. This is what it's got to do, because it's making sure you're doing everything you can to get the call right. And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, is getting the calls right.
It's still not a catch, though.
See, that's where I really like the robo ump. Like, if you're challenging the play, I don't want it viewed by New York, right? Because we've seen too much of this where the ball was clearly outside, they still call it a strike, and you're just like, okay, like, I mean, what was the point of the challenge there? That challenge should be the robo ump, because there is no margin for error there, right? Like, you got 5 or 6 cameras trained on it. AI figures it out between the angles. I'm with it, right? Like, as soon as you challenge it, take the human element out of it, because we've seen a bunch of those just over the last month where they, you know, you look at plays and they're just like, yeah, that's clearly not. Or, you know, during preseason when they challenged plays and they're like, oh no, that stands. It's like, man, there's no way. So yeah, at that point, use the robo ump. It's available. we see it on the broadcast all the time.
Tommy Carranza saying in the comment section that he still hates Gene Steratore to this day. One thing I know he doesn't hate is just the tip.
I just wanna put the tip in.
It's time for
Just the tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Check them out today. Guys, take care of yourself from your pits to your tip. Make sure everything is taken care of. They got the whole body deodorant, the anti-chafe stick. Of course, they got the comfort cream and the Balber to make sure you're looking good and groomed in all the ways you possibly can. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all your male grooming needs. I love how uncomfortable people get once I make that read.
I think it's hilarious.
I think it's brilliant that somebody got that, got that sponsorship, and it could only be a Cowboy fan because they get just a tip every time.
I hate them. I hate that I love that team. I'm still on the roller coaster. I don't know if they're going to go 17-0 or 0-17. I look at them and they've got so much talent, and I just hate the coaching staff. And I feel like you have to have a pretty decent coaching staff. Bo, you're the one who's been there with Brian Schottenheimer. He was your offensive coordinator for a while. You've got to talk me off the ledge here and actually give me some hope that this team's going to be good.
Don't do it, Bo. Don't do it.
So I wouldn't go as far as saying you're going to be good, but you're going to be like a you're going to be a just over 500 team because you can't go 500. And Shoddy, he got sort of a bad deal here because he was trying to make things happen with no offensive line. So he's here trying to run 13 personnel just to get Geno enough time to throw the ball, right? So you don't have a real dynamic offense when you got, 3 tight ends on the field. Like, it just doesn't work very well. When 2 of them are out there to block, one of them's running a route, you got 2 receivers and a running back. It's like, okay, your running game isn't doing anything because, again, you have tight ends taking on 6'5" Samoan dudes. You're going to lose that battle a lot of times, right? So he got sort of a bad rap that he shouldn't have got because I just don't think he was set up for success as far as personnel.
Hey, Bo, well, at least Shoddy will never run it at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing that's funny about that is you had to throw the ball once. If you wanted to use all 4 downs, because they only had 1 timeout, right? So whether they threw the ball on that down or the next down, they were going to have to throw it on one of them because you only had the 1 timeout. So I wasn't actually mad at the call. You never think of an interception on a slant like that. You think on a slant, you're thinking worst case, incomplete pass, right? Malcolm Butler made an amazing play. And we've seen him actually make that exact play multiple times. So, I mean, he had a knack for breaking up the slant. But, yeah, I mean, I didn't actually hate the play call, but, man, the outcome was rough.
Just a little bit. Just a tad rough.
Tiger Stripes Media saying Dallas will go 10-7. I've got them going. I've got them going 9-8. Like if I'm being realistic, 10-7 would be okay. I've got them more around 9-8. I feel like Washington got better. Philadelphia is still going to be good despite the mass exodus of people from their team. It's just I've got no faith in that coaching staff. And I know everyone keeps telling me, oh, well, Matt Eberflus is a great defensive coordinator. He's going to be like Wade Phillips, whatever. All I remember is you got fired on effing Thanksgiving. How bad do you have to be to get fired on Thanksgiving?
I forgot you have Eberflus. You guys are hosed.
And Bo, to second that and third and fourth and follow up with that, I just want the Cowboys and Cowboy fans to, have hope so I can see it, week by week, just going, because I don't hate the Cowboys. The Cowboys might be a good bad team. NFL needs them for people to watch. But I just
Don't
love
like
the
the
fans
fans.
that they're going, it's our year. It's our year. And then I come and say, well, yes, this is your year. Playoffs are next year, though.
Yeah, well, I always enjoy the "It's our year, we dem boys," all of that. And then you watch their team, and they just forget how to play football in December. Like, like December comes, they're like, I'm getting ready for Cancun. Like,
The we them boys with Brokeback Mountain, advertising on it. That's always the best meme ever. And be careful, Bo.
there it is. It's our
Tipton
year,
is
we
searching
dem
for
boys,
something.
right there in the chat.
I don't know how you can say they forget how to play football in December when they're 21-8 in December
No.
with Dak Prescott.
Just comparatively to the rest of their season. Like,
They're 21-8.
Yeah, but not when it matters. Soon as, well, I guess January is when we should say, right? Because
Yes.
the football season is extended. So sorry, January. You forget how to play football, if that makes you feel better. Because it matters more in January anyway.
Yes.
Hey, the best joke I've ever heard, I think it was Peyton Manning who said it in one of these things when Dak and I think it was Zeke, they were on the stand saying, "Hey, great season by Dak and Zeke, and it's wonderful that they remembered how to play with like Cowboy greats in the past, which they just lost in the first round of the playoffs." That I thought was absolutely brilliant, and that's what happens, and it's the sad thing about the Cowboys, that winning is an attitude, and they don't have the win. They might have it throughout the season,
Oh,
but when it comes
going
to
after your
playoff
culture.
time,
Winning is an attitude. They have the highest win percentage in NFL history, but they don't know how to win. Come on, man. They've been bad for 30 years and still have. I know they got overtaken by Baltimore last year, the second highest win percentage in NFL history. This is a team that's been bad for 30 years. They know how to win. They've just had dumb mistakes happen to them, right? Like the Dez Bryant catch. That's a catch. And every other year, that's a catch. The Dak Prescott slide with 13 seconds left. Like lining up Zeke Elliott at center and putting the entire offensive line elsewhere, making it look like a flag football play. I don't know what the hell they're doing. They're a team that can win. We've seen this team win in the regular season again and again and again. They just don't win in the playoffs. Tommy Cananza saying, I love how a Seahawks and a Patriots fan are talking about forgetting how to win in January. Both haven't played in January in a decade.
I mean, we were in the playoffs 2 years ago, so.
How'd that go?
I mean, we lost, but so did you guys. So, I mean.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
We're a group of losers hanging out with each other. I just opened it up for the
it's
hatred
early
against
on a
the
Friday,
Dallas Cowboys.
obviously.
and look, Bo, I'm at the office. My team is doing their work, and I'm here having fun.
Nice.
That's leadership right there.
I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back.
All right. Bo taking a quick break here. He got tired of us talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and I can't blame him. So I want to talk about something. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it's my hatred of the Dallas Mavericks just boiling over because I am a San Antonio Spurs fan. But I was watching, and you if you've paid attention to the show before, you know that I watch the NBA Summer League religiously. So I'm watching NBA Summer League basketball, and they are hyping up Cooper Flagg, talking about him as the greatest thing that's ever happened in the history of sports, right? Like, oh my God, Dallas is doing this. He's making the article here is he makes winning plays in his debut. He went 5 of 21 in the summer league. 5 of 21. He should be dominating the summer league because we're talking about G League dudes and fringe players, right? Meanwhile, meanwhile, I'm watching the San Antonio Spurs. They get a 40-point win against the Philadelphia 76ers. I put nothing in that because, again, it's summer league. But if you're going 5 of 21, Jesus, man, come on. Like, in summer league, you've got to do better than that. And they said, oh, well, it looked like he was tired. He hasn't played a game since March. How the hell is he tired? He should be in a phenomenal shape by now.
Yeah, and it's the thing. I'll say this for Cooper Flagg, it's summer league. It's not Springfield or something like that. Let him cook and get to grow. But maybe he's getting accustomed to his new surroundings, new this, new that. I'll give him right now the benefit of the doubt. But going 5 for 21, that's a problem. I think he will be great. I think he looks like a high school kid playing a grown man's league, though. That's the problem. He needs to get stronger. He needs, he may be strong, man, but he didn't show it. I think the NBA is a different kind of cat. It's not playing in the East Coast or anything like that. These are men going at you, and I think he needs to hit the gym. He needs to get stronger.
Tommy Cananza saying, yeah, he's strong. He just doesn't want to make the summer league guys look bad. Tiger Stripes Media saying, LOL, I'm a 49ers fan. You get the owner out of Dallas. I still don't think it's a Jerry Jones problem. Tiger Stripe Media, you got to follow me on YouTube. Maybe you could be a part of the conversation. I feel like a Jerry Jones apologist all the time, which is a weird lane for me to be in. I don't like being the Jerry Jones apologist. I'm not going to go back into that conversation. But I think what really what might have bothered me, Augustine, is like I get my ESPN alerts, right? And I don't know if you guys got this yesterday or not because I get all the basketball alerts. And the ESPN alert that comes through is watch the Dallas Mavericks take on the LA Lakers as Cooper Flagg takes on Bronny James, as though Bronny James is his dad, as though that's the name that's going to entice you to watch this amazing future matchup. This isn't going to be a matchup past this year whenever Bronny's no longer on a damn team. Once LeBron retires, Bronny's going to go to the G League and get phased out of the NBA completely. So I don't understand, like, and I get it. It's ESPN doing ESPN things, but come the hell on, man. Like, how is that going to be the thing that's going to entice people to watch Cooper Flagg versus Bronny James?
I don't know. It was bad for Cooper Flagg. It was a bad showing. Maybe it was jitters of. I don't know. I don't know. And maybe that guy right there, which you showed, maybe he would have a comment if he saw the game or if he read about it or anything. I mean, what's the learning curve for a top athlete to go into the league? It should be maybe 2-3 weeks if they're that good. So jury's out for me for 2 to 3 weeks. G League, that's still a little bit higher than NCAA. So I'm a little bit worried for that number 1 pick. I am. I mean, honestly, if you're going 5 for 21 against G Leaguers, something has to happen.
Well, not just that. Like, he wasn't even able to back down Bronny James, and Bronny James isn't like this big, huge stud of a dude. Like, Cooper Flagg was trying to post him up, and Bronny James was owning him in like the post up game, right? Like, again, and I said this completely at the onset of talking about this conversation. Maybe it's my bias as a Spurs fan that I'm, anti Cooper Flagg at this moment. I was all about him being the number 1 overall draft pick, so I switched on him real quick. It's been a couple of weeks. I switched on it real quick. 5 of 21 in a summer league game, you're getting your shots. You got to make some of those shots, man. 5 of 21 is a terrible percentage.
Yeah, but let's look at and trying to look at the silver linings, his offense and that. If he can't really post up Bronny James, that takes out a huge part of his game. Then he's only left with his mid range. He's got a good jumper, mid range jumper, but if he can't post him up and put him down, his turnarounds and spin moves are not going to be able to be done. He's he's a big guy. He's 6'9", but you got to remember at 6'9", at that position, he's average. He is average.
I mean, I feel like we can probably pump the brakes a little bit. Like, it's early.
I know. Like I said, I think I just got annoyed with that being like the alert that came on ESPN, because I watch basketball all the time, so I think I just get the alerts all the time anytime there's a basketball game going on, and it's like, watch the Dallas Mavericks take on the LA Lakers as Cooper Flagg makes his debut against Bronny James, and I'm like, why? Why is this even a thing? Like, it's summer league. I shouldn't be getting an alert for a basketball game.
Well, especially if that is your headline. Like, talk about, you're like trying to pump it up like it's a heavyweight fight, and you're just like, wait, who are these dudes? Like, yeah. And this is coming from a bitter NBA fan, because OKC not only steals our team, but now they finally won a championship. So, we here in Seattle, it's always the middle finger to the league, until we get a team back. So
you can cheer for the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, that would be fun. I'm fine with that.
Don't do it, Bo. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I can't do it. I do like the way that organization's been run, though. I mean, when you look at the way they did things with David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and like that whole era was impressive, right? I mean, especially with Duncan, they won a championship like every other year for a decade.
The most boring basketball ever.
Hey, rings are rings, whether it's flashy.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. And the thing is, they did it kind of like the '60s way, because Duncan, he would just go back, shoot way up here so nobody could actually block it, and he would just off the glass. And this is how I imagine Tim Duncan, shit talking to people. I'm going to go off the glass, and that's what it is.
No, I've heard stories like Kevin Garnett and all them would say Tim Duncan was an epic trash talker. Like he never cussed at him or anything like that. But whenever he was scoring him, he'd like tap him on the ass and be like, "That was a good try."
Oh, good job, Buckaroo.
I can just imagine, Tim Duncan going past. Good job, Buckaroo.
No, like full on the condescending little league dad.
You think so? You think so?
That's him on the top of the head.
That's awesome.
Tommy Carranza saying Wemby went 2 of 13 from the field in his first summer league game tip. You worried about him? I am worried about him. He had a blood clot and all that other kinds of stuff. But whenever he's on the court, he's an amazing, amazing player. So again, it's just my hatred of the Dallas Mavericks. It's boiling over out of me because there's a rivalry there.
You love Nico Williams.
Nico Harrison.
Well, I'm sorry. I was thinking. Who was it? Was Nico Williams? Oh, I was thinking soccer. I'm sorry.
I'm going to look up and see if there's even a person named Nico Williams.
Yep.
I feel like we're being racist right now, Augustine.
I mean, I was thinking it was the Nico that left Tennessee because he wanted too much money, but he wanted to go back on his NIL deal. But I think
Nico Williams, actually a Spanish soccer player. Good job, Augustine.
Yeah.
He's a left winger, really fast, really young, by the way.
There we go. That was our soccer talk for today.
Seemed like too much, though.
It felt like too much. Actually, no, I told Augustine I'll give you a couple of minutes, Augustine, for you to talk about the Club World Cup.
Hey, an amazing Paris Saint-Germain, like Mike Titton says it, just completely barreled over Real Madrid, which did have a couple of his players available. One given Trent Alexander-Arnold, so they changed formations. They went from a 4-3-3 to a 3-4-2-1, and PSG just destroyed them 4-0. And then the final is this week. It's going to be PSG versus Chelsea. Chelsea has some amazing talent on that roster, and they just got Joao Pedro, who's an amazing forward. This may be a lot closer than people think. I'm still taking PSG to win 3-1.
Okay.
And that was soccer talk for today. Thank you, Augustine. We appreciate it so much. It was a ton of fun. Tommy Canasta saying he's going to talk about something completely different, going back to you talking about it. I wanted to get to this comment about that Tommy put up here saying it's 100% Jerry's fault, but he isn't going anywhere until God says so. There's nothing we can do about it. Jerry Jones is building a great team for the Dallas Cowboys, guys. I don't know where this hatred for Jerry Jones is coming from. He's built a team, again, that last year we all looked at as a Super Bowl contending team, if not for the injuries they had. Dak Prescott tore the hamstring off the bone. Let's not forget this stuff, right? Like, their defense was injured all year long. Last year, they're a championship contending team. This year, we're talking about them as 9-8 or 10-7. There's the possibility that they can be a pretty damn good team here. Everyone's going to say it's always someone else's credit. It's never going to be Jerry Jones's credit, like Tommy is saying right here. Jerry Jones is the general manager. Jerry Jones is going to get the credit for building this roster.
And he should. So the thing that's funny is people lose their mind on Jerry Jones, and it's because he forces himself in front of the camera all the time. But they're like, you need to get him out of here as a GM. He is great on draft day. Like, you guys are awesome in the draft every year. Like, you guys draft dudes. You're not great in free agency. Like, he can't figure out how to pay guys on time, so you end up paying too much for guys. So that's on him. But, I mean, even if he were to step aside and let his kid Steven take it over, he should still be in that draft room because he does a phenomenal job in there. But then, yeah, he's a billionaire. Maybe he should get on one of these rockets and float around during the season so that he's not a distraction for the team. But, I mean, I don't think you want him to not be there as the GM. He does a great job.
But here's the thing. But Cowboy fans, they sound more prepared for defeat than victory. But
I mean, 30 years, you get used to stuff. Like, I'm a Mariners fan. I can tell you the exact roller coaster we're going to do, and they're consistent every time. You would think we'd at least try a different roller coaster. Maybe you end in the same spot, but like there's different peaks and valleys. No, we ride the same one every time. We go to the same Six Flags, get the same ride, never get on a different one.
Missionary all the time.
The season hasn't even started, and the injury report on them is already longer than the playoff run. So what can you expect?
Oh, I mean, that only takes two guys. That's not really.
Wow. I just keep opening myself up open to it. My show, and I'm allowing this stuff to happen. All this negativity about the Dallas Cowboys. The Patriots had the 3rd or 4th overall draft pick last year. Let's talk about how bad they're going to be this year. I think they're going to be good. So it shows how much I know, right? And
I don't think my Patriots are going to be good. I think they're going to miss the playoffs, but they're going the right direction. That's and I think the Patriots in 3 years will again be not pretenders. They'll be real contenders in about 3 years if they keep this momentum.
Well, if you know that I barbecue my team all the time, so I'm an equal opportunity hater when it comes to seeing what the rosters are. Like, I have no idea what my team's going to be, right? Like, we have an entirely new offense. We've added a couple of rookies to the interior or offensive line. Could be great, could be terrible. We really don't know. So, the Seahawks could be anything this year.
So I have the Seahawks being the second best team in the NFC West. Like, I think it's going to be the Rams division to win. I have the Seahawks being the second best team there. I think San Francisco's taken a huge step back, and I have zero faith in the Arizona Cardinals because they're the Arizona Cardinals, right? So How do you feel about your Seahawks this year? Like, I know you just said it right now. Like, it could be good, it could be bad. What do you feel about my assessment of them being the second best team in that division?
No, I feel like you're accurate there. So you kind of know what you have on the defensive side, right? You got a year more of those guys kind of coming together, but you have all new pieces on the offense essentially. So it'll be how quick can the rookie come together in the interior of the offensive line? Because if we can get the running game going, it opens other stuff up, right? You lose DK, but when you look at statistically him versus MVS, they're the same guy, right? I mean, their 40 times are within, 0.3 of a second. They have a very similar catch percentage. So, I mean, and he can stretch the field. So, I mean, and neither one of them run a good route, right? Like that was the biggest problem with DK. The good thing with MVS is he's not going to get all the after the play penalties. So that's a win. You lose Lockett, but you get Cooper Kupp. Similar route running ability, great catch radius. Awesome, right? You still have Jackson Smith and Jigba. So that's great. You still have Noah Fant. You added another tight end. You have both your running backs, right, in Charbonnet and Walker. So that's great. So on paper, you look at it and you're like, okay, like they could do something. But can they protect Darnold? Because Darnold becomes ghost seeing Darnold if he's under duress, right? If you look at last year, Geno Smith was one of the most hurried quarterbacks in the league, and he was still efficient at it. So I wasn't a huge fan of making that move. But here we are, right? So it'll really be, can they protect Darnold? And that'll be the hugest swing as far as what this team can do. I think on the top end, they're a 10-win team. I think realistically, they're a 9-win team. I think they go 9-8. The Rams, far and away the favorite in this, provided they can stay healthy, which can be said for every team in the league. The 49ers aren't going to be quite as bad as people think. So they're going to be interesting to watch. And then the Cardinals, to your point, like they're the Cardinals. Like they're going to find ways to mess it up. But on paper, they actually have a good team. And when they all play fundamental football, they win games. Like they can play with anybody. They just don't consistently do that. And so they're that like 7-win team, mostly because they'll get in their own way.
It's crazy to think about the Cardinals because what was it, 3 or 4 years ago? This was a team that was 8-0 entering their bye week and then just shit the bed the remainder of the year, right? Like they sorry, Roku, sorry, all the people out there, I'm not allowed to cuss. I got to push my button here that Augustine keeps reminding me that I need to get. But the Cardinals, like, I want to say they're going to be good, but I have enough history knowing that they're not, like, they're probably going to start off with their hair on fire and then just, again, shit the bed because it feels like that's what their culture. We talk about the Dallas Cowboys having a losing culture. The Arizona Cardinals wrote the book on a losing culture.
Yeah.
Well, and if you do shit the bed, just go to myhappynuts.com and clean yourself up.
You won't be sticky because you have the anti-cheese cream and the comfort cream. Like you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Tiger Stripes Media saying his 49ers are going to go 12-5. I love the optimism.
That sounds like a Cowboy fan.
That is exactly right. So I don't think they're going to be that, but they have the personnel to be a 9-win team.
That's kind of where I have them. I have them between 6 to 9 wins. I think 8 wins is more where I'm saying their threshold is, but they lost a lot, man. Like they really did lose a lot defensively, offensive line stuff. Now Brock Purdy's going to have to be the guy. Like he has to. Is he the quarterback that's going to make the team better? And that's what we're going to have to figure out now.
Hey, just one thing on my Patriots. If Drake May grows in McDaniel's system, and it's a complex system, the Patriots are going to be good. It just depends on his growth. It all depends on Drake May's growth this year.
Yeah, the one thing that I will give the Niners is John Lynch is really good at reloading his team and not doubling down on bad decisions, right? Like when he realized Trey Lance was just not going to work out, he's like, yeah, let's move off him, right? Because doubling down on a bad decision is how you get fired.
Yeah, it's not like he brought back a running back that didn't produce anything.
I mean, sometimes you just have the money you have also, right? Like in this off season, he's just like, yeah, at some point we kicked the can down the road as far as we could, and you got to lose some guys. Like that's just part of a salary cap driven sport. But one of the things that, impressed me with John Lynch is, I got to chat with him at the Senior Bowl, and he, I asked him how much does, players playing in these games, matter? And, do some of these guys move up the draft board? And he's like, oh, yeah, we'll see talent here that maybe we didn't see during the season. And guys can move their draft stock a ton because games like that, it's all NFL coaches. It's all NFL terminology. So because it's an all-star game, it's not with their team they played with all year. They have to get up to speed on whatever the offense is going to be for that, or defense, depending on the position. And then change the terminology they're used to, change the coaching that they're used to. And they got to do that over the course of a week and then play the game. Right. And so he's like, oh yeah, just how fast some of these kids can pick this up and learn the terminology and all of that, can move these guys around the draft board. And he was there all day, every day, the entire week. Right. And he said he was going from that to the Shrine Bowl. Right. So he's basically going to every single one of these all-star things and spending the whole time there to watch these kids in their practices, in the games. And then when you watch him on draft day, you're like, oh, okay, no, like he knows the guys he wants. He's not relying on other scouts to do it. Like he's at all these games. Like, oh, that's amazing. And then when you look at the outcome of the guys he drafts, you're like, well, this makes a lot of sense.
I refuse to give the San Francisco 49ers any type of love, and I will refuse all of that said. Bo said that stuff right here. We're striking it from the record. It's going to be deleted in every single possible way it can be, because I refuse to give the 49ers any type of love. All right, guys.
So to be fair, that wasn't 49er love. That was John Lynch love.
Okay. Well,
I thought the show was over. You were just letting him go because you didn't want to.
You just ended it.
I should have ended it. If I had known that it was going to be this loving on the 49ers. He's a 49er right now. So if it's going to be loving on the 49ers, I should have ended the show a long time ago. Guys, I want to thank you so much for being a part of today's show. Everybody will be back on Monday. No Fire and Ice this week. Brandon the Iceman Cone is out of town. We will hopefully maybe be back next week. I got to remember what his travel schedule is. But nonetheless, guys, thank you so much. We will see you all next week. Good show, guys.